Got some water. Trash can nearby for support bits. We will get going. We've got some fish to fry today. Gotta get something accomplished this week. How's it going, Goose? Alright, that's good to go. That's good to go. That thing is tweeted out. We'll get going here. Making people wait. I'd like to get going here. So let's take that off. We're good. We are all set with quite a few things to assemble today. The new bottle of resin came in, so now we have lots of stuff. We have this model, which will eventually be a beluga. It's a mecha with some pretty big shoulder cannons, these things, and we'll get them assembled here shortly. They kind of look like kind of a callback to the Catapult K2, the shoulder cannons. We've got his legs here. I've got lots of his torso and body kind of on sprues still over here. Not everything was a successful print, unfortunately. The thing just fell on the floor. Not everything was a successful print, but I don't know what is what until I get them all pulled off the sprues and hit the camera, drink. Until I get everything off the sprues and lined up for assembly. Basically, I gotta try to put it together and figure out what pieces I still don't have. The eternal search for a decent camera position. How's it going, Steven? Tell me you got those mechs done. I want to see them. Got one leg here. Oh, the other leg is upstairs. I'll have to go grab it. A previous print, this leg didn't come out, so I had to reprint. But that one's up in a jar upstairs because I needed to reference which part it was when I was looking to print off the replacement. Little fiddly sprue bits can be a little irritating. These ones are off the printer, just off the printer, so they have a little bit of resin on them, trying to let them let the alcohol evaporate a little bit. It's a little sticky, but we'll get this. We'll get the guns to put together, his legs put together, and then we've got all of these new plate of these fellas with some different options. Some of these have the kind of melee, got some swords in there. I shrunk down the little shield that comes with the drones to make little personal shields for these guys. So this will be kind of a neat little squad of specialty soldiers, kind of like the elite special forces. And then I got a bunch of extra little arms that I'll just have for future prints because I just wanted to complete the build plate. I'm doing pretty good, Steven. Thanks for asking, man. It's been a pretty good week. How are you? Did you get those mechs done you were working on? The little Stragoons? I'm going to run upstairs real quick and grab the missing leg piece from my desk up there. How long does that stuff take to print? These ones are pretty short. I think it took, because it's all based on the height, so I think it took about 2.5 hours to print it out. Cool, I'd love to see them if you've got a photo you could share on Twitter or in the Lineman Guard. That's awesome. Yeah, it takes about 2.5 hours for infantry. Taller stuff, like when I printed these off, it was closer to 3 hours. So it's all based on the height of the print. Alright, I'm going to run up real quick and grab the other leg piece that I'm missing. I'll be back. Alright, we're back. Disaster averted. So the missing leg piece. Alright, so the first one failed, so I had to print off the copy, but when I do all my slicing on the computer upstairs, I had to bring it up there and figure out what this piece actually was, and it was on the leg somewhere. But I had to compare it with what I had. Alright. Should we make some, let's piece this thing together, because right now it just looks like a big mess of parts. But it will eventually look pretty cool. If I could figure out how to do an overlay here, maybe I can find. Yeah, I think I should be able to add the picture as an overlay. So let me, that way you'll have an idea of what the heck I'm doing. Oh, that's the assembly guide. That's not really going to work. Alright, I think I have a picture here. Right, that will work. So I will add it as a image. I will browse and I will find that image. I will find that image somehow. Oh, why isn't it showing up? It's saving it as a JSON file. I don't know what a JSON file is. I'm just going to snip and save as a JPEG or PNG. There's always a workaround. Alright. Here we go. Bam. Alright, so that's what it will eventually look like once it's done. See, maximum production value here. Yeah, I just saw the prices, or at least the announcement for the prices. I'm just completely flabbergasted by the reaction. I know that all the businesses are having some pressure from the inflation, price inflation, all that. However, GW's been consistently raising prices for years, so it's not like it was a one-time thing and they came to us with our hat in their hands and said, look, we're feeling the crunch and we need to do this. It's just what they do is raise prices. Sorry. The solution, if they're seeing some pressure on if they're seeing some pressure on their margins, they should sell more boxes, and by increasing some of the value added things on products that don't require materials that are being impacted by inflation, they can do value added things for their products in a way that is consumer friendly. I've talked about that kind of stuff before, but like, obviously there's some pressure from 3D printing And instead of fighting it like they've had up to this point, they could embrace it and start encouraging people. Say, hey, you bought this box of 10 Hellblasters. Pull out the example box without dropping a model on your head. So let's say you buy your box of 10 Hellblasters. In the box, you get STL file, download link for additional parts that you can print for your Hellblasters. So you turn your $60 box of Hellblasters for 10 Hellblasters, just an astonishing high price for 10 models these days. Considering I can spend $5, say even if I wasn't a Patreon member on here, you could do $5, $10 if you're not a Patreon member on this set of infantry models from PiperMakes that has tons and tons of different variations. 3 different ways to build the 3 different weapon options. You have tons of arms that are swords and grenades or open hands, all sorts of different options. You've got a torso here, he's unsheathing the sword, an entire torso option just for that, amongst a dozen other options for models. Or you can put $60 into Hellblasters and get the same kit that's been sold for 5 years. And they're going to look the same as everyone else's Hellblasters unless you kit bash them yourself. Or you can go out and you can download your own STL files that the public has made to improve them, and then GW gets nothing as a result of that. So that there's opportunities for value added and to make consumers want more of your product. I just don't see how just continually raising prices is going to do anything to stem the actual threat. Inflation is a small threat compared to people just abandoning GW entirely and saying, all right, I'm not going to pay $60 for a box of Hellblasters. I'm going to buy a $25 jug of resin that will print me 5 dozen infantry models at least before I run out of resin. So you pay less than half for a box of 10 Hellblasters. You can print all the infantry you would need for an army. And if you want to print bigger stuff like these, then go wild. You're going to get obviously fewer models, but bigger ones in so I don't know. Maybe they have a plan. I went into history and got out of the business school, so maybe I just don't know something that they know. They got it all figured out somehow. All right, I'm gonna put on the crotch armor. Can't go into battle without it. I saw that Goobertown Hobbies responded, why are people liking this tweet from GW? Like, how is this good news for anybody? Some people just like anything. Can't explain it. Like, yay, higher prices on our hobby. I haven't purchased any GW sets since November, so I don't know. I can't be the only one who just looks at the price and say I can't possibly keep up with this. Like, unless you're sponsored, like if I'm producing content and I was just doing, all I was doing was getting Warhammer stuff, 40k in Age of Sigmar, then I would go broke. So unless you're sponsored, I don't know how people could do it unless they're independently wealthy. All right, we got the lower torso, and we've got the two legs. We'll kind of lay this all out ahead of time. Got our two upper legs, we got two lowers. They kind of bend back on themselves like that. So we got the upper leg armor, lower leg armor, knee joint. Yeah, that's a shoulder thing that pulled off. And the toesies. So what I'm thinking is one that's a pose that's similar to the picture, except I want the foot up, standing on something. So I don't have the base made yet, but I'll just have it up there and then build the base up to meet the foot when it's ready. So back leg will be mostly rear extended. So let me piece it all together. Legs are always a little tricky to pose in the moment. Actually, let's do the leg armor first. That way we know it won't bump into the anything. Just crazy sauce. This whole week has just been nuts with the strange news. There was someone on the PiperMakes Discord that was painting these pieces separately, and having a heck of a time because he seemed like putting more effort than it needed to be. Like, dude, just put it together and paint it. You're painting stuff that's never going to be seen, or stuff that's underneath the armor plates on this. There's a whole lot of extra effort. Alright, so we're going to have one leg kind of back. This one's going to be up on standing on it, like so. Ahead and glue. Yeah, I really think GW should embrace 3D printing. They could easily, kind of similar to what they do with the Lieutenant models, just have all right, this is this month's, say if you're subscribed to Warhammer Plus. We don't know what their subscription numbers are looking like these days, but I have it and I haven't opened it in a while. So I guess they're making money because I'm paying for the service I'm not using, but they could have like a monthly digital download. Say, all right, this month's digital download is an arm for the Primaris Lieutenant. Therefore, if you buy, you could even do a sale if you wanted to be really snazzy. You could say, all right, this month we're going to have a sale on this Primaris Lieutenant. If you buy it on the store, which of course everybody's paying more if you're buying directly from GW, if you buy it from the store, you get your 10% off, like you were going to get it off of Amazon, and you get a digital download if you're a Warhammer Plus subscriber. Now, of course, that STL file is going to get spread around and stolen, but it's basically free money for anyone who does pay for it. For GW, they produce the STL. You've already got the models. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to change the arm position or give the lieutenant a slightly different weapon. but you make some money in the meantime. Alright, so we got kind of a backward chicken leg thing going on. I think we might do it at more of an angle here. Thankfully it kind of wedges in there so we can pose it a little bit. That one's not quite as tight. Quite as stepped up as I was hoping for, but there we go. Actually, it was backwards. There we go. So I can have it all the way back, and then it'll be slightly more stepped up. How's it going, Ohana? Yeah, it's pretty slick looking model. I'm looking forward to getting it pieced together. It can quickly join the ranks of the other partially completed mecha from PiperMakes. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 open projects that are in the process of slowly getting done. I'm looking forward to like it actually being done, and I can do some shots and movies with the full army. It'll look cool. Let's quit fiddling with it and just glue. This one's a little tricky. So you get the glue in the joint on both sides. Without being too messy. No, that was the opposite of not messy. And we're going to do this at the same time. So we need lots of fingers. We need all the fingers. Both sides of that's getting an accelerator. And get everything roughly lined up the right way. And get it in there quickly before it sets. So the higher up that one is, this one will. Hopefully that will work. I hope I didn't mess the armor up there. I should have put the armor on the plates first. Which way does it go? That one up. Alright, that's fine. The joy of working quickly with super glue and accelerator. I love it. Work quickly. Always looks a little bit less like a chicken once you finally get the armor plates on there. Same deal here. Mechanic gluing bump. And don't glue your fingers together. Don't glue your fingers together. It's like, you guys seen that old Kids in the Hall sketch with the never put salt in your eyes? Never put salt in your eyes, never put salt in your eyes. Always put salt in your eyes. Well, it's not so much stepping up as it is standing, but we'll see. Glue on my hands. When in doubt, use your paint water to get the glue off your fingers quickly. Good times. Alright, coming together. Again, I'll have to see what pieces worked on the torso, because not all the prints succeeded. Some of them were pretty catastrophic failures. Had to clean off the whole FEP resin pool because so many things had failed. Alright, it's looking good though. Got some legs. Let's put the feet on there. Oh, nice bit of glue on my thumb. Good times. Alright. So the original plan was to have feet that 1 foot stepping up on something, but they are almost level. We will see. Shave some of this off. Good thing about the resin printing is you don't have to deal with mold lines. One little downside is sometimes you got little bits that don't quite print flush, and so you gotta scrape them off and make sure the connection is good. Right, that glue is still very wet. The original plan was to have it stepping, but it looks like it's pretty much just flat. The funny thing is, if I had tried to do this completely flat like this, it wouldn't have worked out. But yeah. Alright, so we got some legs. He's got legs. Almost doing the ZZ Top thing here. Here's your timely reference for the day. Did one of the ZZ Top guys die, or did both of them die recently? I don't know. I think I remember hearing about one of them passing away. Classic. Big glob of super glue on my thumb. Good times. Alright. Alright, let's do the weapons, and then we will see what we need to do with the chest, and what pieces are missing from the chest. Definitely makes me think of the K2. Like if the guns were backwards, if this was the front of the gun, it would look very much like a K2. Catapult. Music. Can't let me forget about the music. Where is it? Guns, they'll sit up on the shoulders like so. Once we have a chest, we gotta get the gun, these things on here. So it'll sit in there like that. These look like little claws. Same. Did not notice that when I was printing. That one fits. That one goes there. why you dry fit before you dive in. Wow, that's super loud. That's why you dry fit before you glue. The little ones want to fit in the big. I guess that makes sense. You can see this one smaller. About how I'm going to paint this. It'll definitely be kind of a blue plasma kind of effect in the middle here. And that might be difficult to paint with these in the way, but I'm thinking it's going to be kind of, it won't be that bad. Because I can dry brush it, do the dry brushy thing. Connection. Something hiccuped. Comcast, never change. These little 2 arm sockets will stick into the torso. Gun done. And the only real complaint I have about the PiperMakes models is sometimes it's difficult to know which pieces you need to print. So it's the only real critique I could offer is looking at all of the files, and there are tons of files and lots of different options. Is if they were organized into folders that said, all right, if you just want the base model as shown in the picture, that's what you would need. These are the files you need to print. And if you want extra stuff, then go to the extra stuff folder. And if there are parts that need to be mirrored, you've got the left leg armor. Well, you need to mirror it for the right leg. This just popped off. Then hopefully it would say that somewhere. And she does include instructions, but they're not always super clear on that. Which pieces need to be mirrored specifically. I just dry fit them last night and then forgot about it. Oops. That's why they're falling apart. Alright, got 2 guns. 2 guns and some legs. Then we get to the interesting part. We've got a bunch of torso pieces. We have only a vague understanding of how they're going to go together. Break them off their sprues. Now, what's interesting is she did design it so you could have an open cockpit and actually see into the cockpit, and there's a little pilot that sits inside. I'm not going to do that, but it's nice to know one could if they wanted to. Some icky resin from inside there. little bit like putting together a puzzle. Oh, these go into the weapons. So there are assembly instructions for this that I will have open on my other screen here momentarily. Let's go on the side. There's more weapon canister, ammo canisters. I think I don't need these, but that was a question. I wasn't exactly sure if I needed those or not, but I printed them anyway, just because I'll print the other version of the suit at some point. So I'll already have these pieces. And this one didn't. What's going on there? And side of the cockpit. So it has the arm connecting spots. I think the arm joint balls didn't print. Right off the bat, I know I'm going to have to do one more print job here. This is the back of the cockpit. Multiple things failed. I don't know what they are until we try to put them together. And a shoulder piece that I don't think we need. Alright, so none of the 4 ball joints printed, which suggests that I didn't have enough supports on them. So all 4 of them failed. Pretty good indicator that assembly. Jack up the light here so you can actually see what's going on. Okay. So this bigger one goes in the back, and only one of them printed, so I'll need one more of those. I don't think the actual seat of the cockpit printed. Looking at the parts, don't see. Yeah, the cockpit seat is going to be. I can't put this together until the cockpit seat's printed because it's right in the middle of all of it. Alright, how about the torso? So this is your left torso. It sticks out like this. It's got one of these on it. Shoulder. I don't want to do that until I have the main thing put together so that the guns can be aligned going in the same direction. Yeah, so we need four arm joints. I need the cockpit. Let's see. Let's try that. That. 4 arm joints. 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 facing this thing from the left side. Alright, I should be writing all this down. Pen. Alright, we need four ball joints, 4 shoulder joints. We're gonna be gluing anything. Well, those things. 4 full shoulder joints. We need the cockpit seat. Left cockpit side. I wish you could build the thing, because you're not going to see the cockpit anyway. Oh, you know what else failed? The little front sensor globe. I'm looking at the instructions and piecing together which things are missing from there. Missed here. I think that's it. No, we need. One second, I gotta mute. Got an important phone call. I'll be back in a moment. Alright guys, I gotta go. I'm dealing with a identity theft thing that happened, so I will talk to you later. Thanks for showing up for the stream. I will maybe come back later today, who knows. Take care, be awesome, and we'll see you later.